Hi, in the last session, we learned how to write data into a text file in VHDL Testbench. And now we will learn how to read data from a text file in VHDL Testbenches. This can be used to read input values for your test modules as well. So we read the data from the text file in 4 steps. First, we open the text file in read mode. Then in second stage, we read data line by line from the text file, and this happens in 2 steps. So you can see step 2 and step 3 in this slide. First, we use readline function in VHDL, and the syntax is readline bracket file handle comma line buffer semicolon. So this statement reads one line at a time from the file handle and copy that data into the line buffer. And at step 3, we read this line buffer into a testbench signal. And the syntax is read bracket line buffer comma signal name semicolon. And now we repeat this step 2 and step 3 until we read all the lines from our text file. And finally, we close our text file. So this is step 4. This is a simple VHDL code for this reading process. So first look at this text file. Name of this text file is inputfile.txt, and we will read data from this text file. So you can see we have 2 columns here. First column has integer data type and second column has 4-bit std logic vector data. Now let's move to the VHDL code. So we start from the architecture part here. We are not explaining library and declaration for this test bench because it is same like in the last session. But you have to write it in your VHDL editor when you are using this code for reading data. And remember, you need to include additional std library and TextIO package in your test bench to read data from a text file because we are using its predefined functions in our code. So architecture behave of test bench is begin. Now we start a process block here. So file read process colon process. Now again our sensitivity list is blank here. We are not writing any signal in the sensitivity list like we did in our last session because we are going to use wait statement in this process block. Now first we will declare file handle. So it is file input file colon text semicolon means file handle name is input file. Now we will declare line buffer as a variable. So it is variable line buffer colon line semicolon. So we have a variable named as line buffer and it will store data of one line. Now we have to declare a variable to store individual data from our line buffer. So we have two type of data. In first column, we have integer type of data, and in second column, we have 4-bit std logic vector data. Although we have one extra thing here, and that is a space in between these two columns. So this space is read as a character. So we need to declare 3 variables here. First, we declare a character variable for a space. Then second, we declare this integer variable. And then we declare our 4-bit std logic vector variable. So we have written these lines. Variable character colon character semicolon. Variable int colon integer semicolon. Variable vector colon std logic vector 3 down to 0 colon equals to 0000 semicolon. Remember that all these variables and file handle has to be declared in the declarative part of this process block. Now begin keyword. So we will write our process block from here. Now what was our first step? Our first step is to open the text file in read mode. right? So we have this statement: file open, input file, comma, input file dot text, comma, read mode, semicolon. Now we already explained this line in the last session as well, so we are not repeating it. But in short, input file is our file handle for this test bench. Input file.txt is our text file, which we are going to read. And this last thing is open mode. So this time we are opening our file in read mode. Okay. Now you have to read these three lines from our text file, and you read data line by line. Means we need to read this file in a loop of 3 cycles. So you can use for loop here because you know that you need to run it for 3 times. But in general, you can have n number of lines in your text file. So instead of a for loop, we prefer to use while loop with some additional functions. Consider we do not know that how many lines we have in our text file. We just want to read all of these lines from the text file. So we use this special type of function, and that is endfile. So we have this while loop with endfile function. So it is while not of endfile bracket input file loop. So we read our data until we reach at the end of file. So this while loop keep looping until you reach at the end of your text file. Now we read data from each line. So as I said, first we copy the whole line in a line buffer, and then we read specific data. So we have these four statements here. Statement 1 is read line input file, comma line buffer, semicolon. So this statement copy one complete line into the line buffer variable. And in this line, we have three different type of data. So we copy all of them in separate variable. So first is read line buffer, comma int, semicolon. So this will read integer data from the line buffer and copy it into the int variable. Here, read is a VHDL function. Second line is read line buffer, comma char, semicolon. So this will read space character from the line buffer and copy it into the character variable. Third line is read line buffer, comma vector. So this will read 4-bit std logic vector data from the line buffer and copy it into the vector variable. And now and loop semicolon. So this cycle will run 3 times because after 3 times we reach at the end of file. And now the fourth step, which is closing our text file. So we have this statement file underscore close input file semicolon. And now we will use wait statement. So as I explained in the last session that this statement is very important here because this statement will pause this process here and your process will only run for one single time at the start of simulation. If you do not write this wait statement here, then this process will rerun in an infinite loop. Means it will open a file, then it will read the data from these statements, and then it will close the text file. Now, because you have not paused it here, it will again re-trigger this process block. So it will open the file again, read the data again, and again close the file. Then again repeating the same process. And we do not want this. So we need to permanently pause our process block here. So we have this wait statement. If you do not understand this, then please watch my last session. And now finally we terminate our process block and then terminate our architecture block. So you see that how easily you can read or write data into a VHDL test bench from a text file. And suppose you have different set of inputs to test your VHDL design. Then just read these inputs, test your VHDL module, and write the results into a separate text file. And finally, compare the results if they are correct or not. Or even you can create another text file with a expected output from the set of input sets. And then you can compare them inside the test bench itself. And if they are not matched, or if you're not getting the expected results from your design, then you can print a message in your simulator tool itself, like the expected output is not matched, kind of something. So that's a huge possibility of its use cases. And now that's it for today. I hope you understand this and learn something new today. If you did not subscribe till now, then please do subscribe to learn and grow community for regular updates. If this video is informative, then please like this video, comment on video, and don't forget to share. Thank you for watching.